Hello and happy birthday. Today we are celebrating people that have their birthdays from November 19th through the 24th. So in astrology land, that is known as the Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. And we're going to be referring to this book right here. So this is The Secret Language of Relationships. It kind of has like old world kind of language. So I have updated, put some notes here on my iPad so I can share with you today. So we are going to go over some personality traits for you, and then at the end we are going to list out all of the birth dates that you are most compatible with, from personal relationships to work relationships, family, and beyond. And then definitely wait until the end, because you have one final piece of advice from this book that we're going to read off to you as well. So here we go. So the Scorpio Sagittarius cusp, birth dates November 19th through the 24th. So you have the combined energies of both the Scorpio and the Sagittarius. So the Scorpio energies are emotionally deep, very serious, and can be sometimes secretive. And then the Sagittarius energies are intuitive and outwardly directed, and you're big lovers of your own personal freedom. You don't like to be tied down very much. You have a greater empathy for people than maybe some others do. You are likely very spiritual or religious, so you don't have to necessarily go to church every Sunday to be spiritually connected. Maybe you are very into like meditating and taking care of yourself and getting out in nature. Any way that you choose to connect to spirit, and it's definitely going to happen for you. The things that upset you most from people, things that annoy the crap out of you, are sloppiness, bad taste, ignorance, and bad attitudes. So definitely in the dating hemisphere too, you're not going to tolerate things like that. You secretly enjoy traditional values, even though you kind of come off as being like this rebel and whatnot. You secretly enjoy the holiday rituals and family traditions and things being carried on from generation to generation. Most Scorpios, Scorpio Sages, this is a weird one. So you'd either be very, very rich, or you're completely comfortable being poor. Some people are. So most Scorpio Sagittariuses are either one way or the other. They're not going to be like middle class. They're going to be upper middle class or upper class, or they're just going to really kind of not give a care about their finances. You may indulge excessively sometimes in more than one area of your life. So you have to kind of watch out for those addictive personalities or things like that. When you feel like you love something too much, just recognize that so you can make the choice to kind of like step back. You're usually aware from an early age that you are very different from others. So that's good to know. And in your family, you may kind of feel like the odd one out, like everybody else. Like for example, with my family, I'm the only one that does not own a Jeep. Of all of my siblings, every one of them owns a Jeep, and they love all of that like four-wheeling, and I think it's cool and whatnot, but I'm just not into it, and that's okay. And I make a joke of it, but maybe it's something kind of like along that lines. You have a strong strong drive, to succeed from a very young age. So you might be one of those, like, your Girl Scout troop, had you sell the cookies and you wanted to like sell all the cookies, or you were doing, car washes with your, church youth group or whatnot. I'm just thinking of things like from my own childhood that I experienced. But you might experience something else, like where you were just like hustling candy bars, and making money so you could earn a buck. I definitely know that I started babysitting from the age of 12, so I'm not in this horoscope, but sometimes things apply to other horoscopes kind of nearby. Okay, so you have lots of imagination and determination when making plans for your future. So that's really cool. You're very goal and result oriented. So, you're big on like setting goals and really working towards them, and that's what drives you. You're very picky when choosing friends or a life partner. So, and that's okay. That's actually really, I think, is a positive thing. Your laughter shows how mentally healthy you are. So if you're not laughing, your friends know something is wrong with you. And like maybe we've all met a person like this. Maybe this isn't you, but maybe we've all met a person like this. At least I have. Somebody that like literally as soon as they walk in a room, they like they're always laughing and cracking a joke or laughing at other people's jokes and really gregarious and happy, and that tends to be more of folks from this birthday. So I always wish that I was like that, but that's not me. I'm not like I don't like all the eyes on me, but and I'm not as funny as others. You are very sarcastic with both your friends and those you dislike. So, and that kind of goes along with like the laughing all the time. It's really easy to like crack a joke about people. So just kind of like be careful with how you are respective of other people's feelings. You may have a bit of a double standard too. So like you're dishing out all of this sarcasm and jokes, but you can't take it. So you see teasing, like others teasing you, as humiliation. You feel just like, oh, like how dare you even say that to me? So just watch that and maybe be aware of that, and that might actually help improve your relationships too. Moral questions are very important to you. So you're very quick to like draw the line in the sand, or at least have conversations with people, and where your moral values stand. You strive to be very honest, but you don't always manage it. So you believe in being truthful, but sometimes you feel like you can't measure up to your own standards. So, and that's okay. Like kind of in your heart of hearts, in your own personal time, you're kind of gut checking yourself, but try to be kind to yourself and just know that you're only human, and just work on getting better the next day. Give yourself grace. It's okay. Finding it hard to be completely open and honest with people close to you. You may tell only part of a truth, and only to be embarrassed and regretful once people find out the truth later. So just be cautious of that. You're trying to protect other people's feelings, but sometimes kind of not necessarily fibbing in the process, but maybe not telling the whole entire truth. So just be wary of that. You are undeniably charming, and well-meaning, faithful, and loyal. So those are awesome qualities to have as a friend. So just embrace the awesome parts about you and celebrate those and be proud of yourself. And don't be so hard on yourself for areas where when you're by yourself and you're gut checking yourself, it's okay. Um, you seem to lack fear in dealing with authority figures. So that, I mean, I wish I was that bold, but many people born in this week don't have a problem going into their boss at an office and, saying, hey, you know what? It's really time that we talk about, my pay. I've contributed to the team on blah, 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 and I deserve a pay raise, and here's why. And so I applaud that. I wish I was that bold. That was always like when I worked in offices, that was always my like cringe. You are excellent at compromise and you know when to give in, but you also know when to take a stand. You are highly instinctive, so trust your instincts, trust your gut. I always say that, when you feel like that tingle like in your gut, like trust it. You feel confused when you try to rationalize or make sense of troubling issues. You rarely forget when someone screws you over. And you also never forget a true act of friendship. You're kind of like the elephant never forgets, so maybe that's your spirit animal. You are fully aware of the power of money, but you would rather not pursue an opportunity, even a lucrative one, if it means working with someone you don't respect. So, if the work is not like your calling, and if you are stuck working with somebody that's like just like brutal to work with, you're gonna say thanks but no thanks. I'll find another opportunity that makes more sense to me. And that I can get behind fully. Scorpio Sagittarians are not the most stable of individuals in their romantic relationships. And maybe just knowing that, you can give yourself grace to just say, it's okay, this is just who I am. And maybe just kind of like be by yourself a little bit more than in a relationship. Or if you are in a relationship, just being upfront and honest with your partner or partners. And then when you're young, you may be wild and adventurous, which makes it hard to stay with just one partner. So just be safe out there, people. Some Scorpio Sagittarians may find a life partner later in life, but because you're used to more freedom, you might feel stifled. So, like, while you're young and you're, pursuing your career and living your dream and doing all the things that you want to do, and then all of a sudden you're kind of like, well, I don't want to like be by myself forever, so like I'll find a partner, but then the daily grind is a little kind of like boring and not as exciting, and you kind of crave that being able to, go on a friends trip and go here and go there and do whatever you want to do without having to check in with somebody. So that feels kind of that's not your vibe. You need somebody that needs minimal attention from you in the end. Others marry earlier. Like some Scorpio Sagittarians will wait until later in life, and then others will marry early. But the kind of partner that you're seeking out in an early marriage is somebody that is okay with an open marriage, where you date other people but you don't bring it home. That kind of vibe is not okay for me, but to each their own. Spending a lot of time away from your partners can guarantee the freedom you need with a minimum of jealousy. So, have your regular friends trips. If you're used to, taking a plane to Mexico and staying at a resort for a few days with, your best friends, keep doing those things. Do your weekly, friend nights get together, whether it's like bowling or whatever the heck you're into. Keep doing those things because that's gonna keep you sane and not like resentful of the person that you're with. Um, you can be confrontational in both work and personal relationships. So just recognize that. Maybe take a breather sometimes. And Scorpio Sages do have a sweet and affectionate side as well. All right, you ready for the best relationships? Here we go. Happy birthday.